Warning: this program is intended for adults of legal drinking age. Whiskey is consumed and discussed. The intent is to educate our palates on the differences of whiskey flavors and not an intent to get drunk. Please drink responsibly.
Well, that was fun.
Hey everybody, welcome to I Fucking Love Technical Issues. That's not the name of the show.
Joseph, I think this might be the most dramatic episode of fucking love whiskey ever. So
Right?
you're welcome.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Jen.
Yes.
It's good to start with drama right out of the gate, I think.
It is. Yes.
Can only
Like
get better
a real
from here.
cliffhanger.
Well, hey, I definitely feel like I deserve a drink of whiskey now.
Yeah. Did you get your question about bourbon versus Scotch answered?
I think.
No, I did not.
Oh, because I rudely interrupted the stream when my internet came back. Joseph?
Well, okay, well, this is what I know. I feel like you're better at answering these questions, but bourbon is, usually made in America. It's made from corn.
And rye.
Yeah, and rye. It's not, and it's also aged less. Like it's aged less, and it's aged in virgin barrels, oak barrels that have not been. They're just fresh oak,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And I think those are the main differences. It's also, like I think like 2 years, right, for it to be bourbon, or maybe even less than that.
I think it could be like days or something. Someone in the chat might know. Someone might know the actual rules for bourbon, because bourbon's garbage. I don't.
Whereas Scotch, obviously, it has to come from Scotland first of all. Like that is a rule, and it is aged in pre-seasoned barrels. It's always in pre-seasoned barrels, right?
Not always, actually. They do occasionally mature things in virgin oak. Like I think one of the Octomores, the 0.4 Octomores, I think, are virgin oak.
And that's, I think, 3 years, right? It has to be at least 3 years.
It must be 3 years and a day. I think they
3 years and a day
in Scotland. So that's Scotland. That's it.
Okay, so how do you get the barrels to be non-virgin? Do they have to get married and go through like a vetting process?
One of the ways is you make bourbon in them. That's one of the ways you do it. You make bourbon in them.
And then you just don't count the first batch. You're like, oh, that's a virgin batch. Just don't drink that.
Well, the Scots are really good at being economical, let's say. So they said, oh, there's these whiskey barrels, or these American whiskey barrels, or these sherry butts, or these wine casks that are coming in. They're getting used up and empty. We'll take them, and then we'll store the whiskey in there. And so you get not only the oak maturing the wood as a chemical reaction, but you also get kind of a little bit of flavor from the barrel. Sometimes up to like 60% comes from the barrel itself.
Yeah, especially like sherry. Sherry Scotch is like generally a little bit darker, and you can really taste a lot of times the sherry. You know what I mean? If it comes from a sherry butt.
And the GlenDronach, which is our first whiskey, is often matured in a lot in sherry butts as well. It's got a lot of sherry influence.
Yeah, well, we should taste it.
we should get to that
or smell it.
I think Thad probably has up in the corner the whatchamacallit, the where the whiskeys are approximately going to be tasted in the timeline, if you want to check that out in the corner.
Just add 5 minutes for this rewatch.
Yeah, just add that. Okay, hey, what's our first whiskey?
It's the GlenDronach 12-year.
Oh, there you go.
There it is.
Beautiful color.
It is. Yeah, you could totally tell it's like probably aged in a sherry butt because of the color. That's that nice dark color. I like to do this too. Wow, it's like I've completely forgotten how to do the show.
Off to a rocky start.
A little bit, but we'll find our legs. Yeah.
Oh. And I don't know if I told you this before the show, Jen, but I fucking love whiskey.
That's good, because if you're like, I really don't like it, but I'm just contractually obligated when my internet's working to do this show, it would be disappointing.
That would be a sad state of affairs for sure.
Yeah.
This has a very light smell to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the nose is quite.
You got your nose in there too much, didn't you?
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh dear. Thad has it up there. It's Pedro Jimenez and Oloroso sherry casks that have made this. Probably second fill, just given how pale they are. Smells nice, like.
Yeah. It's got a kind of a spicy quality to it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm on the desert planet of Arrakis.
Nice.
The spice must flow.
I fucking love whiskey. Sponsored by Dune, only in theaters.
I fucking love melange, the spice of life.
I just started rereading that book.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like the whole trilogy. I think God Emperor is probably my favorite one.
Mm. Ooh.
Okay, we're going in. You okay? You doing okay, Jen?
Yep.
Yeah, that one's a weird one, the God Emperor, but I really like it. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, this is like I bit something and I'm chewing it. It's really full in the mouth.
Like a caramel, like a chewy caramel candy bar or something. Like it's got, I don't know. This is quite sweet to me.
I feel like Jen was about to say something.
Does the whiskey hit you at different places on your tongue depending on?
Yeah, I think it's
felt it in the back of my tongue.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Like
yeah.
the finish is like a warm blanket, like crawling down the back of your tongue. It's interesting because different whiskeys too will hit you in different places. You know, like some will be up here in your nose, and some will be. It's weird.
It's like a plastic bandage smell.
A little bit.
In a good way.
A little bit like a. Oh, now I can smell the sweetness. Before it was just sort of alcohol.
Just all the alcohol, yeah.
Yeah.
You do want to kind of like keep it as, just get a subtle hint of it. So keep it away from your nose.
Oh, okay.
And just get it at the edge there where you kind of feel the alcohol, and that's how you can kind of steer and judge how much you want to.
Oh, okay.
Get up the old hooter.
Yeah, everybody's palate's different too, because some people get their noses right in there and other people want to just, waft it. So it's like, you have to find out what's, right.
Mm-hmm.
One thing the trick I've seen some of the professional tasters do is they smell their arm, smell their skin instead of coffee beans or something, just to kind of reset their olfactory senses.
Oh, that's it. That works really well. I feel like we've talked about it on the show at least once, but I feel like I just learned
the
it.
whiskey.
Yeah. That was the real Angel's share.
I do smell more. That's really weird.
Yeah. And also like opening your mouth when you smell is another thing people do to like,
Yeah, I've tasted quite a bit of coffee, and so that's where the sticking your nose in it
right in
comes from. Yeah.
What?
I sort of learned
were
that
you
the
a
hard way.
professional coffee taster or some event? Or what was that for?
No, I manage a coffee shop. So, yes.
So you're a professional.
So you're a professional coffee
I guess I
decider,
am.
right?
Well, yeah.
So what is your favorite coffee? Like what kind of coffee do you like?
I like dark roast. I like Asian Pacific coffee. It has a full body and it's a little bit earthy. The Italian roast and like a French roast are a little bit too smoky for me. I don't care for the smoky.
Yeah, I like a medium roast. I'm a big fan of a Pike Place is like my favorite. Yeah.
Smooth, clean, and balanced. And
cat.
Whiskey
there
cat.
You go.
And what's your cat's name, Jen?
Shanti.
Shanti.
Which is Sanskrit for peace.
Oh, nice.
And our other cat's name is Asha, which is Sanskrit for hope.
Oh, wow.
But you might, oh, it's just on the, sorry. Is this NC-17? Should I cover the?
I'm not seeing anything inappropriate.
I'll just call it fucking love whiskey.
We'll pixelate it. We'll pixelate it out.
Yeah.
We'll just we'll throw up some blur.
Subscribe now for part 2. Like for the uncensored version.
Come to Shanti's OnlyFans and you will find you'll see the whole. Hey, it's a legit job.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, it is. It is. Sex work is work.
One of the reasons I picked the whiskeys today was that they're kind of core range. They're things that you should find in any kind of well-stocked whiskey bar out there. They're not kind of some of the unusual things that we usually go to on the channel.
this last taste, it gave me like I'll have to pour some more to science it, but it gave me very Christmassy. Like I took and the last sip I had a very Christmassy sort of hit to it, like the pine needles, the desserts, the whole thing was just, it's like a mouth of Christmas to me.
Almost a tobacco leaf in the finish as well, maybe.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit more in so I can science it. It's like I forgot how this show worked. This is only our second show back after our break, you know, like I feel like
you're a little out of practice, and this one got off to a rocky start with the internet problems here.
Dramatic Andrew.
Dramatic start.
Yes.
As I said to Jen, we're all improvisers, so we should be able to.
I have my. Bing. So what do you do with it?
Just get a little water in. No, not the whiskey. You get the water and you drop the water into the whiskey. Okay. But I like your style. I like this technique.
Just getting right into the science. I do feel like it opens up the nose a bit.
Now, is this neat? Or neat is when there's nothing in it?
Neat is when there's nothing. So this is now with a drop of water. I like to start with just a drop because you can always add more, but you can't take it out. And if the water doesn't make it taste better, you're stuck with something that is inferior to with that water.
Yeah.
Not that we have opinions about whiskey.
We have some opinions, but we're not snobs.
Is there a name for when you add water?
Science. We call it science.
Science. Okay.
Probably not the.
So when I go to the bar, I can say I would like some whiskey science, please.
Yes.
And they will know.
I would like some science in my whiskey, please.
Yes. One drop of science added to the whiskey.
They'll put on their lab coat and they'll be.
Yes. Oh, very good. Very good. Yes. Very good indeed.
I'm learning so much already.
I think I like the nose more with the science, but I don't like the taste as much with the science. Like it's a little more, I don't know, pallid, you know. And once again, Jen, this could all just be in my mind. Like that's, you know, that is what I'm experiencing. So, you know.
Where did I put it? Okay, here it is.
I put a lot of science in mine, so sorry.
Oh, wow.
I went way too far with the science. So
well, you can do what you want, you know.
Yeah.
We recommend one drop just because, like Andrew says, you can't take it out again, you know.
Yeah.
And one drop can really change the taste. Like it surprises me when it does, you know.
I think it really softens the taste here, or maybe it's my taste buds getting used to it, but it feels like
it does soften it, but I feel like it I don't know, like it's less exciting. I guess it softens it in a way that it, you know, seems kind of like
less exciting,
blandish.
Yes, but for someone who doesn't drink whiskey, it does make it a little bit easier. Because you don't have that little bite at the end of it.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why it's subjective, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all complicated organic beings tasting this complicated organic drink.
Yep.
And there's, you know, the vicissitudes are endless. I know. I just wanted to use the word vicissitudes.
I just learned a word. I don't think I know the definition of vicissitude.
Yeah.
It just means changes, like, you know, changes.
We are coming up against it though, so let's switch to whiskey number 2. We can come back to this later. Don't feel like you are obligated to finish it all right now.
Whiskey number 2.
Whiskey number 2 is Oban. Now, this is a distiller's edition of the Oban, so it might not be exactly what you get in the bar, but it is a lovely seaside town, Oban, and it has a distillery right in the middle of it. Kind of like, a little chocolate shop, and then you turn a corner, it's like, a distillery. Hey, let's go visit.
Yeah, Oban, very popular.
Does a distillery edition mean?
It means it's something that they picked some casks and they only released it at the distillery.
Oh, okay.
Right, so you have to go there to get it, I believe. Yeah,
I
7
see.
centiliters. Yeah.
So that's like the Nike shoes. Like you had to go to the store in Fairfax and wait outside.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. So that's, you know.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't taste hugely different. You don't know, but
this smells kind of smoky to me at first sniff.
Oh, I find it's very shy.
I'm getting a little bit of smokiness. Like now it's gone now that I've removed the top, but that first whiff was a bit smoky, and then there's like a sweetness underneath it. It's like a like peaches. It smells like peaches. Like
Oh, I can see that.
like fire roasted peaches with like peaches and honey, like roasted over a fire.
Mm.
Maybe apricots, but mostly peaches, I think.
Are the peaches, are they free range peaches, or are they peaches like, are we like from a can, or are they organic?
I think they're free range organic peaches that have been, that have been raised in a friendly manner. And
yeah, that's good.
All organic fertilizer and, killed humanely.
Yes.
That's what I think.
These are questions that we have not really dealt with in the past.
About time, I think.
There you go.
Someone's waking us up.
Wow, the chat's really quiet right now. Is there anybody in there?
I don't see anybody.
I wonder if there's like some other thing going on.
Maybe everyone has their internet going out.
Yeah, if you're in the chat, say something, because it just seems kind of empty right now.
Do we have any truers in the house? Huh?
Truers?
No?
Are those people who watch True Blood? What does that mean?
No. Our youngest son is 23, and evidently that's something that the kids say when they're playing the games and they're talking. They say, any truers in the house, and you say yes. And I don't know.
I don't know what it means.
I feel like I need to know. If you're in the chat and you have a definition of what a truer is, please put it in there.
Is it a truer or a trumer?
Truer.
Trumer sounds bad. That's something like the doctor would tell you. I'm sorry, you have a trumer. It's benign, but we want to do a biopsy, right?
Up in Berkeley, there's a beer distillery. What do you call those? A
brewery. A beer distillery. I got my gin from the gin distillery.
That makes me want to open a brewery just to call it a beer distillery.
Anyways, it's called. They make a beer called Trumer Pills, which is so great. Oh, Jen, you have raised your hand. You have a question?
I don't know why.
I think you might have tapped something on the keyboard, like it's a Zoom thing. Or
weird.
Yeah.
Shanti, do you have a question? No, she's okay.
No, she's fine. Okay. All right, good.
She wants to know when her OnlyFans is going to go across the bottom of the screen.
I haven't even. We'll pimp her out. Well, that sounds weird now.
No.
Yeah. That seems like that term. We'll promote.
Promote.
Yes. We will support her OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I get that smoke. I just in that last whiff, I got that smoke.
It was right at the beginning, and now I'm not getting it as much. It's kind of hidden away. I'm gonna taste this. I haven't tasted it yet, so
yeah, I think we're.
Oh, it's kind of floral on the taste, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like I just tasted a delicious bouquet of flowers.
Yeah. Right. It actually does. It tastes like a bunch of petals of flowers have been added to your. Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's like a fairy whiskey, right? Like, like magical fairies in the woods. Like this to me is like the sort of whiskey they would drink.
And if this was a house, Joseph?
If this is a house, it would be a fairy house. It would be like a ring. It'd be like inside of a hill, a hollowed out hill. And you'd have to stand in a circle of mushrooms to get in, or, give away your firstborn, something like that. Like that's what this is.
Oh.
And, yeah. Or a house made literally of flowers. Like I think it'd be a house of flowers.
There you go.
Yeah. I fucking love whiskey.
That's news to me. That is a complete surprise.
I didn't mean to shock anyone with that breaking news flash.
I don't.
It does taste different. I don't know. My hand keeps raising itself. Sorry.
Hey, blame Zoom. We're all using it, but let's face it.
Hey, there's a strongly worded email coming your way, Zoom. Watch out.
I think Thad might not like us when we do that, because I think it just changed the order of my.
Yeah, it flip flops where our screens go. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Thad.
Hey, Thad, how are you doing on these whiskeys?
Yeah,
they're good. They're whiskey. Overall, the Oban is better than the GlenDronach, but I was a little let down with the last one. Not gonna lie. Typically, sherry cask for me. Like I love them, but for me it seemed like it was missing something. Not sure what. But I totally agree with you on the peaches and honey on this nose. Pretty spot on.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, good. Yeah, the floral taste here, and in the end, what is it? What is it? You know, for doing a show where we taste whiskey and describe what we're tasting, I should be way better at this.
Yeah, I got something kind of savory, but like savory with like a weird spice in it that you wouldn't normally like, something that's savory but has cinnamon in it, or savory with like cloves, something like that, you know?
Yeah, the cloves. I can.
Ooh, cardamom, yeah.
Yeah.
Cloves, yeah. Like maybe a ham with a bit of, you know, with some cloves in it, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I do like this. Yeah, I agree with that. I do like this one better than the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this one says it's double matured. What does that mean?
It probably means it was aged in one cask and then poured into another cask to finish it.
And that's done on purpose, or do they taste it after the first cask and they're like, oh, not ready yet?
That's often what the master distiller will do, is because they go around and taste the casks to see if they're ready, or to see, you know, how they're maturing. And sometimes if they find one, it's like, well, this has been in the cask for so many years and it's really not coming together, let's move it over to this other cask. So they will do that to try and, you know, make sure they get something of good quality out.
So kind of both on purpose and not on purpose, if you think about it.
Yeah. And then do they take the other cask out back and like shoot it, or send it to a send it to the bourbon factory, be like, here you go. Hey, go make bourbon.
Go make bourbon. Yeah. I like the thought of them just shooting it. You have disappointed us.
Yes.
They'll probably reuse that cask. But they might mark it to say, you know, this cask doesn't seem to be given.
I do wonder, like, is there like a magical cask out there that's just been reused like multiple times?
They will generally use it twice after its first initial use. So after you've made a port or a sherry or a bourbon or whatever, they will use it 2 more times. Generally, they might try and pull a 3rd time out. Or they might just scrape the inside and then re-char it and use it again as kind of a virgin oak from that point. Kind of a virgin oak. You scraped out most of the flavoring by doing that scrape of the barrel.
It's a born again oak.
It's a born again virgin.
It's a Christian oak.
We're gonna have to put some more disclaimers at the top of the show, I think. Should we science it? I feel like we're kind of, since
we're falling
probably put some science in this and see where that takes us.
Okay.
There we go. Hi, weekend pie. Why just save pie for the weekend though? Why not just do a day pie?
Some of us are watching our figures.
Fair enough.
Huh.
Some of us are chasing bugs around our room. Did it do anything to the nose?
It seems a little more sickly to me, a little more like sweet in a way I kind of like, in a less interesting way, like just generic syrup to me.
Yeah, I'm getting some more funky notes out of it now. Yeah, I don't think the water was kind to this. Not on the nose anyway.
Yeah, we'll see.
It got boring, I think. It got boring. Like I'm missing that floral taste.
Yeah, this kind of did what the last one did for me when I put water in it. I kind of made everything a little, like turned down the volume or made it all kind of
it's just
mushy.
And that was just 1 drop of water and it just ruined it. And so when I see people order whiskey and putting an ice cube in it, I'm like, wait, you don't know.
Unless it's bourbon. Go ahead. Put whatever you want in that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, again, I say the ice in bourbon, and I often drink my bourbon with ice, is because it knocks down the sweetness and you can access the flavor more. Because bourbon has to be at least 51% corn. And that's very, very sweet stuff. Whereas this is all made from malt barley, which tends to be more chocolatey if you just get the malt barley on its own.
I'm I'm gonna step in and say that the water changes the flavor a good deal. Like, yes, the floral goes away, but you get a good deal of like spicy sweetness that comes out of the taste for me with the water. Kind of like spiced graham crackers.
Now I did have like only a little bit left, so I might have overwatered it. You know what I mean? Like even though I put in one drop, but that is interesting.
I had quite a bit left, and I can see the spiced cracker, but I really missed that floral bouquet that we were chewing on.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like it was a really interesting flavor. I think that's one of the things I liked about it. It had that sort of thing you get from Scotch sometimes, where it's like, where did this flavor come from? You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Random and awesome. Well, we're almost
random and awesome. Wait, that was awesome. It just came out of your mouth. Random and awesome. I like
random and awesome.
I can't help what comes out of this thing. There's as an improviser, I've killed any sensor I have in my brain. I think it and it comes out.
All right, what do we got next?
What have we got next? Oh, well,
BenRiach.
What an exciting little distillery, like poised on the North Shore, just I think in the Highlands, is it, or is it just out of the Highlands? It's kind of one on the border there.
Yeah, it's like right, like it's kind of a one, half of one, 6 dozen the other. But technically Highlands, right? I think it is technically Speyside.
Okay. Anyways, we had the distillery rep who in the US do a tasting for us a little while back, and this little distillery surprised us all. And so this is the BenRiach 12, Smoky 12. So this is going to be a little bit peaty, and I'm hoping, Jen, you like it, because you said you didn't like the smoky flavored coffee as much. But we'll see, because this is a very interesting peat. It's not from Inverness, around Inverness, where a lot of whiskey is peated, and it's not from Islay, where you get the real iodine seaweedy stuff. So love this distillery, BenRiach, shooting up to the top 12 on my all-time whiskey list.
Wow.
Yeah, you can get like 10-year from K&L for like $40. That's right? Isn't that right?
I think it's $41 right now. Yeah, but you have to have the insider's advantage. So you have to sign up to K&L. But why, if you aren't signed up to K&L and you love whiskey, if you say you love whiskey, you should be fucking signed up to K&L. We're not sponsored by them. Oh,
but we should be.
This is my favorite whiskey. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That nose is great. That's really.
This is what I'm, I don't know, Jen, but this is when Joseph and I are after, is this kind of, how can a liquid smell like this and taste like this?
Yeah, it doesn't, like the first whiskey especially had that like alcohol undertone. This one doesn't at all. It just has smoky and other things.
Yeah, and we're also interested, like if this has any recollections for you, or you want to describe it however you want to describe it, we love to hear from the guest, like just as far as like, this reminds me of, my grandma's makeup, or whatever it reminds you of, you know what I mean?
Well, what was your grandma using for makeup, Joseph?
I mean, clearly turpentine, if this is...
And ash, she's like going to the fireplace and like, get me some ash for my eyes.
Because this does smell like a burnt down garage, you know what I mean? Like where, like there's a turpentine fire that burned a garage down, or
right, because it's got that oiliness, but it's also the smoke. For me, this takes me back to my parents had a ranch, and we would just sit around the campfire at night, throwing these logs on, and it just, roasting marshmallows or cooking hot dogs. Just
yeah, I can see the campfire thing.
Weekend Pie says it reminds them of pie.
It's kind of one note, really.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's one of those noses, like I could just smell it for a while, Yeah, summer, like outdoor school or summer camp is kind of also reminds me of. I guess it's the campfire thing, but
how are you finding the nose, Jen? I'm interested.
Yeah.
I like it. It's not, like I said, it's not as like it doesn't hit you as much as, especially the first one. It's much more, it smells more complex. And yeah, I definitely get the campfire thing. There's something else in there that I can't describe.
just lurking just
Yeah.
behind that smokiness,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a funky organic smell almost. And
It kind of smells like Band-Aids, but in a good way.
yeah. Yeah. I want to say
I know
like
what you mean.
I want to say like beets, like there's like a smell of beets maybe in there. Like it's that earthy sort of root vegetable sort of. Yeah, let's taste it.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's see if that helps.
Ooh,
Oh, that's delightful.
I taste the smoke, definitely.
For me, the taste goes in an entirely different direction than the
Mhm.
nose.
Yeah, there's a little bit of the smoke, but not as much as in the nose. And I get something almost like meat that has been just soaking in a saute overnight sort of thing, and then just roasting and falling off the bone, roasting on a fire, falling off the bone.
Falling off the fire and roasting on the bone. I get a sweetness. Like I just not to me the taste wasn't savory at all. It's like a sweetness to it. Like maybe a crunchy toffee or something that's like a light candy, like a depth to it, like a bit, some of that Maillard reaction going on. Oh, I love the nose after tasting it. Like it's one of those things where you taste it and then the nose is like even more elevated.
Mm-hmm. But by smelling it, you wouldn't expect it to taste the way it tastes at all.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Oh, what is there not to love about this stuff? What is there not to love?
This has like a curve to it. The taste, it's not, it doesn't, for me, the notes don't just pop in and out. It's just sort of like a nice bell curve.
Nice arc to the taste.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good description of like most good whiskeys, really. There's not like, although occasionally there's one with like a big, like a blaring note, but I think stuff that has like a little journey that is a nice journey is good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think even stuff that is like surprisingly good, it's still like it's surprisingly good in a, it's like a good movie, right? It's like all of the parts kind of, they're all surprising, but they still all fit together and there's a curve to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great description. I like that.
Okay. Random and awesome and fits together like a good story.
Yeah, it's a good curve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, has anyone done science on this yet?
Mm-mm.
Jen, do you have any projects coming up? Any improvising work you're doing? Any coffee shops people should visit? Like what are you promoting?
Not much. Joseph actually asked earlier.
Jen is between shows.
That's weird. It makes it more, when I put the science in it, it makes it less of a curve and more like there's a steep change in it.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people sometimes think of it as like that, like the musical description where you have like attack, sustain, decay, release, right? It's like is kind of a good way to think about it. And this, yeah, the attack I think is stronger with this. It's like a zip and then it like zips off.
Yeah.
It's kind of
no, I right now as far as projects, yeah, I'm between projects, ready for COVID to be over, to be able to be with people. And in the past year, I've moved 6 times.
Oh my
God.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
What, is someone chasing you? Like what's happening?
They are. Don't tell. This isn't public, is it?
It is, but no one watches it yet.
Damn it! I shouldn't have told you my real name.
No one's gonna ever see this, Jim. Don't worry. No one watches our show.
My wife and I bought a new townhome, and it wasn't ready. Like it was literally brand new, which was super exciting. We had to pick everything out, and but we had to sell our current townhome before. You know, it was this weird thing. Like they wanted the money from the first house in order to give us the second house.
But yeah,
I thought they just should have just let us, you know. But oddly enough, so we moved out of our old townhome and we moved into the house of Lee's former husband. So my wife was married to a man for 25 years, and we have 3 grown children, and we stayed with him, and it worked very well. It's really
awesome. I love to hear that. I love to hear stories like that. You never hear stories like that, right?
Yeah.
I guess because like the more distressing stories are more interesting about like exes and stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, here's a sort of to sum it up. I am gluten-free. So when I will eat whatever I eat at work, I take the bread apart and then I just eat the insides. So like a panini or something, I'll take the chicken out and I would bring the bread home for him and he would make a sandwich the next day with that bread.
That's awesome.
That is so thoughtful because, you know, like the most important ingredient really of a sandwich is actually, I think, the bread. Like if you, you know, if you're a bread eater, like I do feel like the bread is like, well, maybe it's like at least half the sandwich. Like it's very important having good bread.
It is. But yeah, so we moved, you know, in and out of there to our new house. Oh, he loves whiskey. He fucking loves it.
Yeah, sorry. To keep going with your story.
No,
sorry.
no.
Just having a little aside to myself.
And we also moved, my wife went to England for 2 months for work. And I think they left 3 weeks after we moved into our new townhome. And then the next month, I moved her parents into assisted living. And then Lee came back. And then our youngest son graduated from college and moved back home with us.
Uh-oh, you'll never get him out. That's what I've heard.
Maybe Jen doesn't want him out. Maybe Jen doesn't want him out.
Maybe she doesn't, but you know.
It seems like her domestic situation is better than any I've ever been in. So
that's right. Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. No, we've got. I don't think he'll want to stay forever, but you know, who knows? But I'm not telling him where the router is. That's the one thing.
Keep them off the internet. They'll have to leave.
You got to draw a line.
Yeah.
You know,
I do.
You got to draw a line.
The dad came over. We all had dinner, and Steve, the father, was Mark was talking to him about, you know, game. He's a big gamer, and Steve sells fiber optic cable. So he was like, "Oh, well, you can run. I can bring." And I was like, "No, Steve." He's like, "Where's the router?" I was like, "No."
Can I
I'm
talk
not
to
going to
Steve?
tell you where it is.
I'd like to talk to him. I can use some fiber optic cable over here.
He will gladly. He was like, "Oh yeah, I've got extra. We just run a line through the ceiling." And I was like, "No,
yeah,
no. Internet's fine."
I'll wear a hat with a radar dish on it if it will help my internet. Like
That's
you
what
know.
I needed. Yeah.
Well, see, that's if our internet is perfect, then he'll never leave.
Yeah.
So.
With the science, like I like the taste, but it is quite different. To me, I'm getting more sour flavors.
I would concur with that.
Yeah. Thad, what about you? Yeah, what's your take, Thad?
So this is an interesting one for me. Not a huge fan of it with the water. Without the water on the nose, I was the one thing that y'all didn't say that I got was like, if you took a nice chunk of salmon, you put it in a smoker with some cedar pellets, smoked it, and then threw a slab of butter on that and maybe a squirt of lemon juice and some dill, like that whole thing. And then with the water on the finish, I'm getting a cucumbery type thing on the finish, which is very strange.
Oh,
That's interesting. Yeah, I could see that.
You've made me very hungry.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, I love it. I love fucking whiskey, but I also love hearing other people talk about it. Like I love what they I love hearing what they taste.
Are we still doing phrasing?
What?
You love fucking whiskey?
Come on, man.
I'm a juvenile. Okay, all right.
If you want to
Yeah.
find out more, you can check out my OnlyFans.
Your OnlyFans.
So where's this journey going? I think we're about to that point, right? I mean,
right. Well, this next distillery is, I'm going to keep going on this until okay, here we go.
I actually finished the bottle, so
really?
It's a small bottle, this tiny bottle that I was given, but yeah.
That's 2 ounces. That's a lot. That's good.
Well, I was very light on the other two, but I really liked that. And I know I'd like BenRiach. So.
They have 6 kettles here, or maybe 8. Someone's going to correct me, I'm sure. But it's the most kettles I can remember in a distillery, and it's just like you got 4 pot stills down one side and 4 low, what do they call them? Low wine. Anyways, 8 kettles and make a very light Highland kind of whiskey, very, very pale in color. But, 6 or 8. Well, thank you, Paul. 8. That's what I said, 6 or 8. Why am I opening this? I have already poured. Never mind. This is a fun show. It's crazy today. Glenmorangie. That's how they say it. Glenmorangie. Glenmorangie.
Like orange. Orangey. Like
Orangey.
Glen more orangey.
But it's morangey than just orangey.
Now, more orangey than just one Glen.
Right.
You got to add the.
Who's the AP? That's me. Hey, happy anniversary.
Anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Paul.
Anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
That's the he met Annie on this date like 1 year ago. So
this is
yeah, that's the stuff right there.
Oh man, what a lovely nose. This is like fresh linen on the line outside.
I thought you were gonna say fresh linen on the grill.
Let me throw some linen on the grill for you. You're gonna be loving this stuff.
Yeah,
after you commit the murder, you put the linen on the grill while it's still freshly coated in blood. So then there's no evidence.
Yeah. That's what the cleaner does. The cleaner comes and literally cleans the linen with fire. Cleanse it with fire. Yeah, it does have, this is that bright, open, like fresh, like it's just, you're on a green field, somewhere in Scotland, sort of.
Beautiful breeze, just rich with oxygen coming by.
It's so open. Like some scotches are like you're in a small, dark little room with leather, and this is like you're standing on the moors, and
the wind is coming in, and you can see.
It's like Wuthering Heights right here.
See, I was thinking Maria von Trapp.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, the hills are alive.
Yes.
Yep.
Except for the Nazis.
Right.
No Nazis.
No Nazis.
Otherwise.
Everything's better without Nazis. I think we can all agree.
I think we can agree. Well, most of America can agree. Anyways, happy thoughts. Go to the universe, bad thoughts. Go to the universe.
I was also there. Have you ever seen the show Poldark? Have either of you seen that? It's this British, it's based on a series of books, but it's this British drama about this guy named Poldark, whose wife is like beautiful. And like, there's this whole thing where she was like a serving maid and he was a noble, but he married her anyway. And it's ridiculous, but I got sucked into it. But like the whole thing is like, they're all like, the scenery is beautiful. Like they live on the cliffs near the ocean and they're beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? Like both of them are super attractive. And he's always taking his shirt off for no reason. And it's just like, it's just total it's ridiculous. But anyway, it's
raining today, isn't it, honey?
Yeah.
But this smells like Poldark to me. It's that on the edge of the cliffs looking over the ocean, and it's just, everything's beautiful.
Now, what's it? You said all Scotch is made in Scotland.
Yes.
But Irish whiskey, the only difference is that it's made in Ireland?
Not entirely. They also spell it with an E in Ireland. Why am I upset about that? I am not 100% certain. Wow, I should follow up on that. I don't know why, because they are like, you can literally see Ireland from Campbelltown. Like you can see it. It's there. And yet I find the spirits different enough. Like the Irish whiskey tends to be a little more sharp on my palate anyway. Now there are people doing, like Waterford is trying to do like, terroir, and really, the guy who used to own Brookladdy and then got bought out. He's moved down to Ireland, and he's trying to create a very terroir kind of Irish whiskey. It's super pricey right now. I would like to see it cheaper. Wouldn't we all? So I don't know what was it. I was going off on Irish whiskey. I don't know why.
It's okay. I mean, we've had some good Irish whiskeys on the show. I think we've had at least, one or two.
One or
But
two.
yeah, it doesn't seem like I don't know, like it doesn't seem like there's as much like I'm gonna get in trouble, craftsmanship that goes into it. Like I feel like it's, you know what I mean? Like I feel like Scotch is, as I don't know why, but there's like a little more I don't know, just like something a little more. It's like the difference between, like a bunch of violas and a whole orchestra, I guess, and like, a great song from a rock band, I don't know. But yeah, your question, I guess, was like, is Irish whiskey like kind of like, you can't call it Irish whiskey if it comes from somewhere else? I don't think that's true. Scotch is like champagne, right? Because it's like, there's legally you can't call it Scotch.
Regional designation. Well, I'm sure you could, but the EU would come out, not the EU, the UK would come after you. Scotland would certainly come after you for calling it Scotch if it didn't actually get matured in Scotland under their rules.
You don't want Scotland coming after you.
And I think, no.
Probably not.
That freedom thing, that's not happening.
No. Wasn't that Braveheart? Was Braveheart Scottish?
Yeah, I think so. Right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No.
There can be only one.
Oh my God, Highlander.
I'm Spanish. I'm a Spaniard. And I am Scottish. Right? Isn't it like, didn't what's his name, Christopher Lambert? I heard a rumor. Isn't there like a rumor that he didn't speak any English when he did that film and he learned everything phonetically? I don't know. I think it's might be an urban legend, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like something Paul Hungerford would know.
And then what about Canadian whiskey? Is that just bourbon?
It's rye mostly, and it's garbage. I'm a Canadian. I grew up on that stuff.
Well, no, that's what, when I was in college, that was, we got fancy my senior year, and we had 7 and 7 because we were fancy. We were seniors. We didn't just have Southern Comfort anymore. We had
7 and 7.
Got to upgrade.
No, I say that rye is terrible. There's some good ryes being made now. There's some good Canadian whiskeys being made now of both, but rye is the predominant thing when I think of Canadian whiskey.
So Canadian whiskey is rye, and
mostly
bourbon is corn.
Bourbon is by law 51% corn, and then at least you can go higher, and then the rest is usually a rye. So it's a blend of rye and corn mash.
And then this one has malt.
This says malted barley. Yes. Scotch.
And so what's the difference between a rye and a bourbon then, Andrew?
A rye will probably, it was anything that has more than 51% rye. You could call it rye. So you could blend it with corn, I think, and still call it a rye.
As long as there's 51% rye in there?
I don't know if there's any more strict. Bourbon definitely has the strictness of 51% corn and or more. But rye, I think generally when you say it's a rye, it's just the rye.
So any bourbon with rye in it is rye? Like if it's 10% rye, it's rye?
No, I don't think that.
Why would you say that? Here's mud in your rye.
Sorry, my internet's frozen. I didn't hear anything Justin just said.
Probably for the best. Paul Hungerford says hi, Jen, in the chat.
Hi, Paul.
As if Paul Hungerford, as if.
Hey,
we haven't talked.
He might be on Shanty's OnlyFans. You never know.
It's worth it. I'd say go for the highest level.
Yes.
Subscription, because that's the best one. Yeah, this is I don't think we haven't really talked about the taste of this at all, have we?
No, we haven't. No. There's absolutely no notes under taste from Thad.
I mean, I quite like it. Definitely very spicy. There's a lot of, like, the nose is very open and light, and the taste is like it's you know, it's in there. It's like, here it comes. Here's the taste. It's a feisty one.
Mm-hmm. You want some?
I would be surprised if your cat was like, yes, nothing I would like more than a sip of whiskey.
That would see, that should be on the OnlyFans page, because cat liking whiskey is a very unusual thing.
I think you would get in trouble.
Well, I think I might have to try the you know, with the salmon description, you know, that might be the one for the cats to try, because they're a big salmon fan. So
cats do like fish. It's not just a, you know, it's not just something people say. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
if
a
I opened a
stereotype.
can of oysters, my cats would go insane.
Really? Oysters?
Oysters.
That's so specific.
The smoked oysters, they were like practically tackling me.
Wow.
Interesting.
I'm in a fucking whiskey haze.
It's almost like salty.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's not.
Yeah, it's the kind of dry saltiness, like it's almost sucking the moisture from my mouth at the end. That's what I get.
It's like I'm eating popcorn that is like still hot out of the bag, so hot that it's kind of burning my mouth a bit. Yeah, it's like very salty popcorn too. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah. Oh, it's really good though.
So much goodness.
I really wonder what science is going to do to this.
Well, there's no time like the presents to find out. We detox after a show.
we get into a sensory deprivation tank and filled with collagen, and we do a juice cleanse.
It leeches all over our body, let it suck the poisons from us.
Interesting. It took the bottom off.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it did. It's like you're walking, now you're kind of walking in that field, and then you're just like falling, like, whoa.
Yes.
It's like in a video game where the clipping is turned off and you're falling through the world into the, you know, into the void beneath.
Oh, it's very good though.
Yeah, I still like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the fence about liking it.
Have you tasted it?
I haven't tasted it. I'm just on the nose alone. Like the nose, I love the first nose without the water, and this is, I don't think is good.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of what it did to the taste.
Uh-oh.
A lot of sour notes.
Oh.
Almost like a bad kind of turpentine, or like yeah.
I still fucking love it though. But it's not as good as it was.
I love it. I don't know that I fucking love it at this point.
Wow.
Ooh.
I mean, I fucking love it beforehand. And now I want to know what Thad has to say. Jen, did you taste it yet with the science?
I did.
What do you think of the taste?
Me?
Yeah.
With the science, it took the bottom out of it.
For the taste as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like it's sort of, the other ones, the science just kind of muted the taste and sort of like you put earplugs on. But this one, it's like as if there's like a, you know, your cord, and it just cut off the two bottom notes.
That's good. I like that. That's a good analogy. All right, now we'll check with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is without water for me is better. With the water on the nose, like I got more fresh wood, like pencil shavings. Like
Oh
after you're done
yeah,
sharpening a pencil,
yeah.
you get all that, and then the taste, while it's good, it's too spicy with the water for me.
Yeah, it feels like there's more alcohol with the water.
So I guess I'm the only one who got that weird, funky sourness with the water. Then, like, it really was like, I don't know, like it was like kind of unpleasant almost.
It feels drier on the finish to me, even more with the water. Like I want a drink of water right now because my mouth feels so dry.
Yeah, no, there is more that sort of that sourness, that alum. Is it alum that they would drink in cartoons and then their mouth would get small? Alum, is that it?
Alum?
Alum? I don't know. It's one of those things that people had in their pantries like at the turn of the century, and it showed up in like early like Warner Brothers cartoons, like molasses, or you know what I mean, like
People still have molasses, don't they? If you're making brown bread,
they
don't you
do.
use molasses?
Well, yeah, I mean it still exists, but no one has it in their pantry. Like I don't have molasses.
I'm gonna go get some molasses.
All right. Well, he's Canadian,
but
I'll have to go to the store because I
Andrew,
don't have any.
you're Canadian, so any molasses, maple syrup, like you're required when you leave. They give you like a care package of poutine and molasses
100%.
and maple syrup
a box of
and
tubes.
Lots of
Labatt Blue.
toots.
Alum. You're saying alum?
Alum?
Dad? What'd you call it?
Not absinthe.
I said alum, and it's a double sulfate of ammonium or unvalent metal such as sodium or potassium, and a trivalent metal such as aluminum, iron, or chromium.
And it was, what was
That's
it used
fucking
for?
smart, in case you didn't know.
No, I'm just reading off of Google.
Yeah, I could not pronounce any of those words, so you're fucking smart, dude.
You fucking love Thad's brain.
I fucking love that brain.
I don't know. Let's see. It was used to ferment pickles, apparently.
Oh.
All right.
So fermentation, I guess, to help stop bacterial growth, probably.
Right. So probably like it's probably pretty salty, which would make sense that it would like make
Yeah. And so like you wouldn't drink it pure; it'd be heavily diluted in water.
Right. Unless you're Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow,
This stuff's good.
we're almost done, aren't we?
No, I don't like that. I don't like that fact. I don't want to be done. I don't want to be done. Hey, oh, Jen.
Yes.
I don't want to ask.
Come on, Andrew, you gotta ask. It's part of the show.
It seems invasive. It seems invasive to ask about this.
Yes, they're real. That's it. Okay.
That wasn't it.
Okay.
I just want to know, you've had 4 whiskeys on camera and 1 off camera as we warmed up. I really apologize for asking this because it seems really personal. But after tasting these whiskeys, do you like whiskey?
I do. I fucking like whiskey. I'm on my way. If whiskey were to invite me to hometowns, I would go. But I don't know if I would tell whiskey that I fucking loved it, so I might lose out. So it's kind of
it's a risk. It's a gamble.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's just because the drinking more of the whiskey, but I really liked the is it the BenRiach? BenRiach. And I like the more Glenmorangie. I like those two. They're much more smooth and sophisticated, and it's not just that like, oh, my throat is burning as it goes down my esophagus. So
right. And you know, we like that whiskey's for everyone. We're not whiskey snobs. I know you've had whiskey, just to answer a question in the chat there. I know you've had whiskey before, but you said you weren't really knowledgeable about it. So I'm happy to take you through this kind of core range of a number of different flavors of whiskey, just to kind of hopefully educate your palate, hopefully bring you into the world that fucking loves whiskey like Joseph and I. And
we do. We fucking love whiskey.
Fucking love whiskey. Although I'm just noticing your score on the thing here, it's -9. Thad must have not liked one of the ways you said I fucking love whiskey.
Oh wow.
It was for that terrible, terrible, terrible joke. So your score went awry.
Oh.
I feel like you have to take your own score down now.
I think so.
Infinity minus a constant is still infinity.
But it's a different kind of infinity.
Mhm.
I mean, fun fact, there are different sizes to infinity. So
We can have infinities of infinities.
some infinities are bigger than other infinities.
Jen,
That's
thank you
true.
so much for being here.
Thank you guys.
We asked, you don't have anything to plug, right? Just, you know, Jen's just an awesome person. Drop by her
Thank you.
coffee shop. Where is it? Should they?
I'm in Beverly Hills
Oh.
on yes, La Cienega and Gregory. I run this tiny little Starbucks there. So
Oh,
it's,
I've not heard of that chain. Good luck to them.
I know it's new.
Mhm.
I hope it's gonna make it.
Starbucks is kind of a weird name. I don't think they're gonna do well.
That sounds very odd.
I don't.
Well, and wait till you see the logo. It's like a lady with her legs spread. It's woo.
Wait, it's not a picture of someone from Battlestar Galactica? I don't get
It's
it.
not.
I don't get it.
Starbucks, nice.
Yeah.
Is it,
Yeah.
you know, because in computer science, the star is, when you're doing a regular expression search, is a substitution for like anything. So when I see Starbucks, I'm thinking like infinity dollars, like bucks, dollars. That's how much it's going to cost to get coffee.
That's pretty right.
Is that right? Okay.
It is.
Well, Starbucks is not our sponsor.
Now our sponsor is random.org.
Random.org. Get your random here.
And those who fucking love whiskey, they also sponsor the show by their love.
And even then, it's not actually a real sponsor.
It's not. We
They're
don't
not a
really
real
have a
sponsor.
sponsor. Yeah.
We keep plugging random.org and we
Yeah.
keep not getting any sponsorship from them.
Yeah.
We're starting a campaign, random.org. You should sponsor us because come on. Look,
Is
the
it-
question
is
mark's
that
right there.
That's an actual website.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
It uses all sorts of background radiation to actually calculate an actual random number that is more random than any kind of computer generated randomness that we can find. So
Oh.
looking for randomness, random.org. Sponsor yet? Have they called us yet? Anything, Thad?
Yeah. I mean, we would just be happy if anybody would send us a bottle of whiskey too. That's the other thing. So, we'll drink it on the show for sure.
And
we'll
we will
love it.
definitely review it and we will fucking love it.
Now, even if it's in a virgin barrel.
Yeah. We've had bourbons on the show. We've had bourbons. We enjoyed
Yeah.
them.
I mean,
We joke when we say bourbons are trash. They're not trash. They're whiskey.
they're whiskey. How could we not love it?
Are they like trashy whiskey, or are they like whiskey junior? Are they like whiskey that you wanted to grow up and have a good upbringing, or are they whiskey like you're at your bachelor party and you're like, well, what's one gonna hurt? Like,
I think both of those. I like your description. I wouldn't change a word of it. Like, you got it.
Jet, you've asked more penetrating questions than any guest in our history, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
You bring out the imponderables.
That's what I'm here for.
Go to Beverly Hills, help out this struggling little company called Starbucks. Get your coffee. Jen will be there in the background,
Yes.
trying to get people to spell your name correctly.
Mhm. Although you won't be able to see me because I'm so short that
Counter is above.
yes, you'll just hear my voice as a calling, a siren.
Kind of like
Some
that.
might
It's just
say.
a voice,
Yes, just a voice from beyond.
anyways, thanks again. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks, Weekend Pie. Thanks, Outside In. Thanks, Paul Hungerford. Cheers to you. We love you. We fucking love whiskey.